Reuters apparently got access to internal documents from Meta that shows that 10% of their annual revenue, about $16 billion, came from advertising for scams and banned goods. I think we've all wondered at some point, how do these social media companies get away with giving ad space to these advertisers who are clearly promoting a scam? The information in these documents confirms what we've all suspected, that these social media companies are prioritizing their profits and their revenue over the safety and financial well-being of their users. These scam ads consist of fake e-commerce products, investment schemes, illegal online casinos, the sale of banned medical products, and identity theft scams.
You're like me, you hardly trust any ads posted on Facebook or other social media platforms these days, and the Wall Street Journal would seem to agree with a recent report that claims Meta accounted for nearly half of all reported scams on Zelle at major banks. And 70% of new advertisers on Meta's platforms promote scams or poor quality products. And most of those scammers are Southeast Asian crime networks.
Just how common are these scam ads? Well, according to Reuters, Meta shows their users an average of 15 billion high-risk scam ads per day. These high-risk ads generate over $7 billion in revenue for Meta every year. The label higher risk only applies to advertisements that were flagged by Meta's internal warning system but weren't removed. The only time these advertisements are removed is if they meet the threshold of 95% certainty that this ad is fraudulent. If an ad is flagged but doesn't meet the 95% threshold, Meta just charges a higher ad rate, which they hope will discourage any scammers. Now, this doesn't make much sense to me, since a scammer that's willing to pay money to place an ad on your platform is likely generating a lot of money from that ad. I would imagine they're willing to pay a little bit extra to keep their ad on your platform. Apparently, the documents also say that when users click on these scam ads, more scam ads will get recommended to them based on Meta's ad personalization system. This lines up perfectly with the scammer's philosophy, which is to milk the cow for all she's worth. So they'll repeatedly target the same victim since they've seen that they're susceptible to their schemes. The documents also claim that the team responsible for vetting these advertisers is restricted from taking any action that reduces Meta's revenue by more than 0.15%. So any change to protect users or prevent these scammers cannot be implemented if it reduces their revenue by any more than 0.1%. The Reuters article also says that from 100,000 valid reports from users about these scammers, 96% were ignored or inaccurately dismissed. So it seems like the teams that are responsible for regulating these advertisers are severely restricted in what they can actually do, and there's a clear financial incentive for Meta to do so. Meta spokesperson Andy Stone said the documents present a selective view that distorts their approach to fraud and scams. He also claims that the estimate of 10% of their revenue coming from these scam ads is rough and overly inclusive. Ironically, the conclusion I got from his statements are that these documents appear to be real, since he didn't dismiss them outright, and that Meta is actually making a sizable amount of revenue from these scam ads. Since he didn't deny the 10% figure as being completely ridiculous, he just said that it was overly inclusive, which means it's probably a little too high, but the revenue they're making from these scam ads is a large percentage of their total revenue. And considering the size of their total revenue, it's clear to see that they are making us a ton of money from having these scam advertisements on their platform. The Reuters article also claims that Meta's anticipating a sizable fine from the government for the profits that it's making on these scam ads. Now, they expect the fine to be around $1 billion, but considering they've made several $billion just on these high-risk ads alone, it doesn't seem like that's anything more than a slap on the wrist. Now, this seems to be a common occurrence where large companies break the rules and they get fined by the government, but the fine they receive is substantially lower than the revenue they made from breaking the rule. It's basically the don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness strategy. So these companies are breaking these rules and just paying the government fines as they come up. In conclusion, it seems like currently Meta isn't planning on completely cutting off the revenue they're making from these scam ads. And when you consider the fact that they're planning on spending $600 billion in investments in the US, mostly on data centers, you can see why they're not looking to cut any revenue.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S. Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant.
That's a lot. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you.
If anything, these commitments for large expenditures has likely shifted their priorities for the worse when it comes to sacrificing revenue to protect their users. So we will have to wait and see if they find another revenue source to replace the money they're making from these scam ads, maybe from one of their AI ventures, which I doubt.
I'm gonna pick that up with my neural band. This is, it happens.
You've already combined the base ingredients, so now grate a pear to add to the sauce.
What do I do first?
You've already combined the base ingredients, so now grate the pear and gently combine it with the base sauce.
All right, I think the Wi-Fi might be messed up. Sorry, back to you, Mark. It's all good.
Or if they'll receive enough backlash from the public to remove the ads altogether. But that's it for this video, and make sure to check out the Reuters article, which should be linked in the description below. It's a great article and it goes into depth on what they found in these documents. But if you found this information useful, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.